What is up, everybody? Welcome! GKDR is back! It is episode 54. It is Tuesday, March 18th, and I'm your host, Devin Stanford, aka Brevin the Dude, and I am joined by the one and only, my cherry blossom in the time of cherry blossom year, Garrick Bartholomew Eaton, Vermilion Beard. How you doing, brother?
Not too bad. Had a pretty decent day, all in all. The people that live in my neighborhood can suck on my peener, because they're annoying little assholes. Mind your fucking business, people. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. To be fair, I've lived in this house for 2 years, and I haven't talked to any of my neighbors. Not a single
Dude,
one.
this guy isn't even like a fucking neighbor. He lives like around the corner and like fucking a dozen houses down. This fucking dude makes a passing judgment at me literally just because I drive by his fucking house in the morning.
Fuck them.
Fuck him.
Um,
But no, all in all, I've had a pretty decent day. Work was actually like it went by really quick today.
mhm.
And my client got picked up at like their appropriate time, which is excellent. That is a rarity for me. Um, and I also found out this afternoon that they are finally going to be coming and replacing my furnace tomorrow. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, all in
Hell
all,
yeah.
pretty good day. Pretty good day.
Very nice. Yeah, I had a pretty good day. I was off work at 4 o'clock, which is sick. Which is sick. I'll
Oh
take
yeah.
that. I'll take that. That's like perfect. That's like when I want to be off work. If I can be off work between 4 and 5 every day,
When do you
great.
start your day?
Um, I get to work at like 7:30.
Okay, it's not horrible.
No, no. I'm scheduled for 10 hours, but like, you know, I don't always work 10 hours. Sometimes I work 8, sometimes I work 11. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hmm.
So, we'll see how that goes moving forward. But tomorrow's my Friday, and then I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. So I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be great.
Nice.
That's gonna
Nice.
be great. Like I'm gonna have time to play video games now and time to write music and time to do everything else. You know what I'm
You
saying?
can't wait to have you on Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah, that'll be coming soon. That'll be coming soon. But I am like balls deep in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Remember how I said I was like 30
That's
hours
respectable though.
the other day?
You at 40 now?
I'm at 36.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put a shift in.
Yeah. Yeah, put a shift in. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm having a really good time with that game. Obviously I'm playing it on PC because I don't have a PS5, and I'm not buying a
I
PlayStation
mean,
console ever
you don't
again.
need one.
I don't ever need to have a PlayStation console ever again. I've just decided that.
Just wait for the ports.
Yeah. And we're gonna talk about it a lot later in this episode today. But with Microsoft, like that leak coming out that their next console is gonna have the Epic's game launcher and a Steam launcher in it too. I'm just like, I'll probably buy it now, like, that they said that, because you know how many times I'm like sitting there and I'm like playing a game on my PC and I'm just like, man, it'd be nice if I could just play Final Fantasy on my 4K TV in my living room. Like that'd be cool. Like with this,
Mm-hmm.
setup. And then I was like thinking about it. I was like, do I want a Steam machine? And I was like, not really. Not really. They don't really hold up to today's standards. I was like, do I want to build a mini PC to like put in my living room to like use just for gaming? You know? And I'm like, I don't think it's really worth it, right? Because like we're talking, whole new GPU, all that stuff. And then I was
Right.
like, wait, if Xbox does that, I can just play well any Steam ported
One stop shop,
PlayStation game,
baby.
like any Steam game, like my whole Steam library, my Epic library, and my Xbox library, all off of my couch. Like, come on, come on. Like that just sounds too good to be true, right? Am I wrong?
Dude, this is all fucking news to me.
No, you didn't hear about this. So that I've been hearing
Nah,
about
dude,
this.
I'm admittedly really out of touch. My personal life has buried me alive, and
Yeah.
I haven't even touched social media in like 2 weeks.
So yeah, this is the latest leak, and everybody's been covering it. IGN, Kotaku, Split Screen, Forbes, kind of funny, Gamer Tag Radio. Everybody's been talking about it. DLC, and it's like when everybody's talking about it, that's when it's like, oh, this is probably going to happen, you know. So
Dude, or it won't, and everybody's just fucking unanimously disappointed because they fell for a leak,
yeah, but when you have
an
people like
unconfirmed leak.
Paris Lilly talking about it in depth, who has a really strong relationship and actually does like all of the behind the scenes like
Hmm.
previewing when he's talking about it
Yeah, I follow
and
Paris on everything.
giving the details. That's when you go, oh, there might be some validity to this. You know,
That's
that's
fair.
like when you have him and like Greg Miller and like talking about it. I'm just like, oh, okay, you know. Um, that's when I get kind of excited instead of just reading an article, you know, from somebody when I hear them talking about it in depth, because that's one thing with this new job I got. I listen to podcasts again, like a lot of them now. Like I listened to DLC. I got caught up on them over the last like their last few episodes. Um, I'm listening to Kind of Funny every day because they have like 2 or 3 shows that drop every day, you know. So
Hmm.
like they help
Yeah,
fill up my day, you know.
I never have listened to a ton of podcasts. I think that's to my benefit, though, honestly.
Mhm. I just listen to podcasts like that, and I think that helps with all of this. But, you know, we're not talking about other people's podcasts because we're talking about GKDR. This is Good Kraken's Death Ratio, where we're slashing through the podcast space to be your source for all the nudie, nerdy video game news,
All
reviews,
right,
and
Ernell.
discussions that you want to hear live each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. West Coast, Best Coast time. If you want to get ahead of the curve, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcast and video services, wherever you like to watch or listen. But if you spent all your credits on another shop, that is totally fine. You can watch us record the show live right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. If you have Amazon Prime, tell them, TJ. Just say,
Oh, where's my soundboard? There it is.
got
And boop.
it. Whoop. Did you play it?
Yeah.
It didn't play. It didn't play.
Oh, really?
Let's see if it plays
Well,
if I do it. Let's see.
well,
Oh,
fuck
oh,
you,
oh,
Discord.
oh.
Oh, did I hit the preview button? I did. I hit the preview button.
Prime Video.
I didn't even realize that was a thing. I didn't
Neither
realize you
did
could
I,
preview. I
actually.
didn't realize you could preview sounds. I thought like if you just clicked it, it played. Anyways, so yeah, learned something
Yeah,
new
yeah,
today.
yeah. That means you guys have Twitch Prime, and we would love for you to help us out and level up our game by giving that to us. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel. Please do, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Death Ratio and leaving a review there. Man, you know what we're talking about today? We're talking about
What?
Bobby Kotick is back in the headlines.
Fuck that
Kotick.
guy.
Yep, he's back in the headlines. Sony opens a new studio, and Xbox has a handheld. Yep, yeah, we're talking about some stuff. But before that, Garrick,
Hmm.
we have some critical hits. Bing. I love that noise. I just love that
Oh, I know
noise.
you do.
Just little. Did you know that we put that in a banishment song? Right before the breakdown, it goes, and then the breakdown goes dun 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 dun
That doesn't shock me.
dun dun dun. Yeah, it's a good noise. It's a good noise. I think I just played that like 5 times. Um,
I try not to think about it.
you know what you should think about, especially the
Critical
listeners.
hits.
Yeah, because they need to go to goodkraken.com to get our merchandise and see all of the latest episodes. which include last week's episode of 20,000 Films. That's going to be episode 54, where Ernell and DJ went and saw Novocaine, and they got a spoiler-free review up there. That's right. Go check it out.
So is this spelled Novocaine, but still just pronounced Novocaine?
I think so. Unless they misspelled it. I just copied it.
No. Like the movie's, it's spelled with 2 O's, but like, is it Novocaine or is it still just Novocaine?
I think they just call themselves Novocaine. I think the guy's name is Novocaine in the movie. I think Jack Quaid's character's name is Novocaine. I could be totally wrong. I did not watch the movie.
Yeah. Hey, they gave it a fairly good score.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
and like
it's
Jack
actually
Quaid.
it's been reviewed pretty well. It's been reviewed pretty well, actually. So yeah, people should go check that out. Also, the newest episode of the Shipwreck Show is up. Garrick almost died.
Did I?
Apparently, that's what it got titled. Did you see the thumbnail for it?
What? No.
Yeah. It
What
says
the fuck? Hold on.
new
I'm literally
videos.
pulling this shit. Yeah,
Says,
like you knew where I was going.
yeah.
What the fuck, Ernell?
Yeah. I'm surprised.
What the fuck?
I'm surprised it went that way. That's episode 160 of the Shipwreck Show. Garrick almost died. But hey, Garrick, good news for you. I got a guide for that.
Dude, yeah, that's definitely what I thought the episode was going to be titled. I don't know why. Like,
yeah,
that
I thought it was too.
Like that was such a all right.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
More excitingly, though, not to downplay our Shipwreck episode that is now available, but episode 7 of Songs from the Abyss is available. So yeah, go check it out.
There's some inner party conflict going on.
Yeah, there is. There's some things and stuff. I might have destroyed a sign to a building.
DJ's character may or may not be a huge ass face.
Yeah, may or may not be. I also might have gotten kind of petty.
Bruh, all y'all motherfuckers.
Hey, listen.
It's a good roleplay episode.
Listen. I thought I did pretty well. I was trying to like get information for us. I was trying to like procure maps for our next destination. I was trying to be smart, and fucking y'all were giving me shit when I was just like, yo, we have to do this, like we need to get this stuff, but yeah, whatever. I got the Eldritch Blast something, and that's all I care about.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
It is. I like going pew. Notice my color scheme? It's Eldritch Blast colors. Boom.
Is it? I have no idea what an Eldritch Blast looks like.
This is my headcanon. This is Eldritch Blast.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because it's my role play for my character.
All right.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm having a lot of fun with it. You guys should definitely check it out. There is over 10 hours of content for you guys out there actually right now. If you want to start following along.
Much more to come.
A lot more. We're just getting started with that. There will be new episodes released publicly every Monday following. But if you are a subscriber, you will get instant access to the newest episodes of Songs from the Abyss Saturday, just a few hours after we get done. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the early afternoon is what I say. I don't want to put a time on it, but if you want something to listen to or watch, it'll be available for you. Oh, I think it's time we move to our next segment. The sight of the lines. Yep. This is Line of Sight. Yes. This is where we cover upcoming video game releases, and we're going to be going over the 18th to the 24th, and we're going to talk about what we got coming out.
Not shit.
What are you talking about?
I don't
Not
know.
shit.
I don't
Dude,
know actually.
guess what just came out today?
What?
33 Immortals. Early access is officially out today, March 18th.
I dead ass thought you were gonna look me in my fucking face and tell me Assassin's Creed Shadows, Devin, and I was gonna be like, you shut the fuck up. Like, like we both, neither of us are playing that fucking game.
Yeah.
We're having to bring Ernell in for the review on that one. All right,
Yeah,
we ain't
yeah.
touching that shit.
Yeah, but yeah, 33 Immortals is out today, which I totally spaced that it was coming out until just now, like as I'm reading this, and I am
I
going
didn't
to,
realize it had a date.
yeah, I'm gonna play the shit out of that game. I'm gonna
Oh
play.
yeah, I'm gonna install. I'll install after the episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the shit out of that game.
The beta was so much fun. We were into it, man. We
dude.
even did we complete a run? I think we got real close.
I was playing a lot without you guys. Remember, I got
Yes, you
really
were.
good. I got really good at it. Like not to toot my own horn, but like I got into it. Remember I had like
Yeah, I think you
different
definitely think you
cloaks
played
and
more
stuff.
than the rest of us.
Yeah, I am definitely going to play that game. Another game that came out today, which I think you'll be pretty stoked about, Garrick. MLB The Show 25 came out on Xbox, PS5,
I do
Switch.
always play those. They're not going to be on Game Pass anymore, though, man. This one's not on Game. This one's not going to Game Pass.
They only did 2 on Game Pass, right?
Yeah, the two they did 23 and 24.
Yeah.
But I am a little sad that 25's not on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they ended up like making that decision, but they did.
Because Sony owns the studio. That's why.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, that much I do know because I played 23, 23 and 24 on my PlayStation 4. That was before I realized they were on Game Pass. But I don't know. I'll probably end up picking up 25 just because I like the games enough to dabble with them. But I wait for them to go on sale at this point.
I mean, that's fair.
Like sports games, it's like you played them once, you've played them every time.
I feel like sports games should be like $50 or less because they come out with the same game.
They do feel like they should have a hard cap on them, right?
Yeah, because they come out every year.
They don't innovate, and they never innovate, dude.
Yeah, they're like, players will change a little bit on the teams, and that's about it, right?
Yep.
Right?
And honestly, that's only for fucking live season bullshit, man. You can fucking play Legacy League nonsense and literally use whatever fucking player from whatever fucking year you want, as long as they just happen to have the fucking, they're contracted to use at least their likeness.
Yeah.
Another Jackie Robinson in 24, man.
Another game that came out today is Rainbreaker on PC.
That sounds familiar.
So
Roguelike?
It's kind of sad though, is what I'm finding out is that the studio that made Rainbreaker is actually shutting down right after the release of its game. And they've been a developer for 11 years. I'm just now getting this.
This is their first game though, right?
No. They're a small studio. They've been a studio for 11 years. But
yeah, it is a roguelike. I knew it.
Yeah. But unfortunately, the studio is getting shut down. Let's see.
That's really sad. It looks cool.
Yeah. And it looks like it's just because they do not have a project to work on after this game. Like this is pretty much their last project. Is pretty much what it's saying.
I wonder how that occurs for like studios. Like I wonder what like stops you from getting more. Or maybe they decided collectively they were done?
I don't know. I'll have to look into that more so, but just something I saw.
Not a part of the industry I'm familiar with as far as like game especially from the indie side.
Yeah. Another game that came out today is Verballs.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's on PC and it is a Ratchet and Clank like platformer. Is what I see. Which kind of piques my interest.
A 3D action platformer.
Yeah, with Ratchet and Clank style like artwork. So yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that'd be interesting.
For the rest of the week, we have Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's coming out on PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC on March 20th.
That's
I'm not going.
reviewing surprisingly well.
Yeah, I actually might end up playing this one, Garrick.
I'm still not gonna play it, bro. I've just lost all fucking faith in Ubisoft.
I mean, I haven't been playing their games for the past couple years, anyways. But I might play this one. I might play
Dude,
this one.
I mean, if you do, I hope you fucking enjoy it and get your money's worth out of it. Like, I just didn't like Skull and Bones' ass, and I fucking Valhalla was also kind of ass.
I
I'll
liked
hot take.
Valhalla. There was just too much for me to do in that game, so I put 80 hours in and didn't finish it. Everybody saw Skull and Bones being ass for like years.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I'm not saying the writer wasn't, but they still released it and it's still
yeah,
ass.
yeah. Another game that's coming out this week is Mudborn, March 20th on PC.
I think I've heard of that one.
Is it a Soulsborne game
I think it was something along the lines of that. You said
or is
Mudborn, right?
yeah, is it a Soulsborne game or is it a Mud Rally
No,
game?
it is a huh. It is a casual nature management sim about discovering and breeding frogs.
It's the totally like not what I expected
We
it to
weren't
be at
yeah, no,
all.
that's not at all what we expected at all, brother.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm pulling up like the Steam page out of curiosity.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, of course,
Oh, Larry content.
Larry content. Larry content, that's fair. Of course, it wouldn't be a week of releases if we didn't have some strange, longly worded game. Um, Atelier Yumiya, The Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, Switch, and PC comes out March 21st. Then we have Dark Deity 2 coming out on PC March 24th. Then we have Folklands coming out on PC March 24th as well. And that will be the week of releases. Yes, I know I said that weird. Did that on purpose.
Releases.
Releases. Releases. It sounds like molasses. Releases.
Mole asses.
Molasses. Garrett, can you tell the people what we're going into here next?
Fucking no. Give me a minute though. I got because it's this time for the meta minute, and I had to scroll to the right spot on the show notes. Hey, we're headed into the meta minutes, folks. We're doing news now.
Wow, that was quite the segue.
Yeah, man, I'm great at this.
Yeah. Speaking of news, we're going straight into it. Ex-Activision CEO Bobby Kotick sues Kotaku and Gizmodo over alleged quote-unquote defamation. This is coming from
Fuck
Theodore.
Bobby Kotick.
Oh, 100%. This is coming from Theodore McKinsey over at 80 Level. It's a new website. I pulled this article off because I think everybody's actually scared to cover this right now, if I'm going to be honest with you.
They don't want to get hit with the sue hammer. Also,
yeah, no. I was listening to Kind of Funny earlier today, and they mentioned it, and then both Tim and Greg looked at each other, and they're like,
they gave each other the look.
"We probably shouldn't talk too much about this one." That's what they said on there. But you know what? I don't care. I've been sued before.
I don't give a shit. Yeah, man. Honestly, like, dude, fuck Bobby Kotick, man. He's
Yeah.
just I'm sorry. You read the articles, and then I'll talk my shit.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not doing any defamation. I'm just reading this, but like we just don't like your business practices, and I'll say that up front. The complaint claims that outlets attempted to further tarnish Kotick's reputation. As I predicted back in late December, former Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick has indeed started making headlines more frequently in 2025, this time appearing in the news for filing a lawsuit against the media holding company Go Media and two of its subsidiaries, Kotaku and Gizmodo, over claims of quote unquote defamation in articles published by the outlets. Filed in the Superior Court of Delaware, the defamation lawsuit is described as not being related to Kotick's infamous, quote, profits above all else mentality as an Activision director, which has largely shaped his reputation within the gaming community. Instead, it concerns the sexual harassment and discrimination accusations that were once aimed at Activision Blizzard's entire management, including Kotick. As reported by Courthouse News, the plaintiff's complaint argues that both outlets reference these accusations in their coverage to Kotick's rumored plan to purchase TikTok, without clarifying that the allegations had been dismissed in order to further tarnish the ex-CEO's reputation. Although the articles were later amended and Gizmodo removed the term disgraced from its headline, Kotick remained unsatisfied, claiming that the articles still mischaracterized the situation. Quote, neither article had anything to do with Activision, Kotick's complaint reads. Both were about rumors that Kotick was interested in buying TikTok, yet Kotaku and Gizmodo went out of their way to include withdrawn false allegations relating to workplace issues, which Go Media knew had been conclusively disproven by numerous investigations, purely for the malicious purposes of causing further harm to Kotick. At the moment of writing, Go Media has not officially addressed the lawsuit. It will certainly be interesting to see how the situation unfolds, considering it's one of those cases where, for the larger gaming community, neither party inspires much sympathy to stay tuned for updates. Back in February, Kotick also got in the news by publicly declaring ex-Electronic Arts and Unity boss John Riccitiello the worst CEO the video game industry has ever seen, a judgment stemming most likely from EA's disappointing financial performance in the early 2010s, one of the main reasons Riccitiello resigned in the first place. Don't forget to join our 80 level talent platform, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, join them. Go follow them on Discord, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the socials. They got stuff for you. Yeah. So Kotaku and Gizmodo's getting sued over articles that were written.
I hope Kotick loses both. I hope he loses both lawsuits, man.
Yeah. I feel like this defamation lawsuit is interesting in the political space nowadays, because I do think it's very weird that this is happening after Trump's president, and how there's a lot of talk of if you say like about him trying to make laws in order to, if you say something bad about somebody, you can just get sued now. Just for that, even if it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like
it's suppression
he's taking
of your fucking freedom of speech.
Yep. And I feel like he's taking advantage of that now.
Would that shock or surprise anybody that
Nope.
a objectively gross, disgusting, pathetic excuse for a human being would do gross, disgusting, pathetic things? Absolutely not. Bobby Kotick is a fucking piece of shit who was rightfully kicked out of the fucking, like, the dude got shuffled off management so fast the 2nd Microsoft purchased. They're like, bye-bye. We literally don't want you fucking here. And you want to know what? Regardless of, I don't even give a fuck. Those I don't trust the fucking system. Fuck those fucking investigations. Like, do you know, it's clearly, it has been proven time and time and time again, especially in the year of our Lord 2025. The system is clearly fucking broken, and the justice does not get served appropriately ever, like almost ever.
Yeah.
So I 100% believe that every single one of those fucking women in that workplace were in a hostile, toxic work environment headed by Bobby Kotick and his fucking gross, disgusting management team. Like, I sincerely hope he loses both of these fucking suits and that he pisses away monies on lawyers and attorneys and it goes absolutely nowhere for him. Eat the fucking rich, dude. Fuck this
Yeah.
guy.
The thing that sucks about this though is, does Gizmodo and Kotaku have the resources to keep up with them in court? Because that is a thing. That is very much a thing.
We'll find out. I guess we'll have
Yeah.
to find out.
Yeah.
But you also got to remember, like that Kotaku, oh wait, no, Kotaku and Gizmodo were not one of the ones in that big purchase up,
No.
from IGN. So they probably don't. But you want to know what? Like, honestly, I wouldn't. I hope they lose, but the reality is, with the way that media is currently being overly policed, I wouldn't be shocked if one or both of these platforms get fucking shut down. Like, this is the world we fucking live in, man.
Kotaku is like one of
Like,
the biggest gaming media outlets out there
free
too.
speech isn't free. You can't fucking oh, journalistic integrity is at an all time fucking low. Media literacy is at an all time fucking low. It's just it's all bad signs. It's all bad signs, man. Like when people that have this sort of influence just because they have the money to swing around to have that sort of influence can directly oppose constitutional rights is absolutely wild to me.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll have to see how this plays out. I wonder if this goes all the way into court, or if this ends up being like a settlement outside of just like, because we don't know the
I
number.
think they're gonna end up having to fucking settle. I don't think they can afford to go to court.
I don't think so either. And like, we don't even know the monies, the monies behind this. Like,
Yeah. Well,
we
how
don't know
much
that
he's
total.
suing for?
Yeah, we just know that the articles have been filed and they are getting sued. That's it. That's the only public knowledge we have at this time. So that'll be something that we will probably both be paying attention to in the coming weeks or months, however long it takes to develop. And when we get some new solid information on this, because I'm interested to see how this plays out, because
Yeah, me
I feel
too.
like this has a lot of ramifications moving forward, depending on which way this goes. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
Like,
yeah,
yeah, like even the game industry is not safe from the current political climate.
no, no. Um, but let's go on to some more uplifting news, Garrick.
Is it uplifting news? We'll see. Pokemon TCG Pocket is about to have some competition. This is coming from Kenneth Shepard at Kotaku. Hey, we were just talking about them.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you guys are doing all right over there, Kenneth. And my name is Garrick. Some rivalries you just can't let go, and even if one side has clearly outpaced the other. There's Nintendo versus Sega, Kendrick Lamar versus Drake, and of course, Pokemon versus Digimon. Bandai Namco's Monster Tamer series hasn't kept the vice grip on pop culture that Nintendo's has, but Digimon has respectively trucking along with with all manner of games, anime, and products for a dedicated audience. These days, Digimon is mostly doing its own thing, but it's about to release its own mobile card game app to complete the Pokemon to compete with Pokemon trading card game Pocket. A teaser for the new game was posted on the official Digimon trading card game social media channels, where the fox-like Digimon Renamon picks up a smartphone and is digitized and sucked into the device. The screen then states that more information will be available at Digimon Con, a dedicated live stream taking place on March 19th at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. The teaser is vague, so we don't know if it will be an official digital platform to play the modern card game, or if it will have gacha mechanics similar to Pokemon TCG Pocket. But either way, Digimon is about to enter the card game app market again. While Pokemon has had one major TCG for 30 years, Digimon has had multiple iterations of a card game over the decades. The current one launched in 2020. Outside of the card game app, We'll absolutely hear more about the upcoming Digimon anime. Oh, we'll hopefully hear more about the upcoming Digimon anime and video game projects like Digimon Story Time Strangers coming later this year. Right now, there is no active Digimon anime on TV after Ghost Game ended in 2023. So it would be cool if we heard about a new series later this week.
Yeah, Digimon.
Uh, I don't know if I'm excited for this or not, man. I got it. I don't think it'll last. If I'm being real,
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
I feel like just like the nature of Digimon and the Digimon fan base, I just like I've having had a bunch of various Digimon products over the years. Um, like they're not really good at maintaining their shit, man. Like they're like Digimon apps every are so bad. They're so bad, bro. Like they had several different apps for like the latest Digivice, and like they were horrible. They were very, very bad apps. Like just objectively bad apps.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's made me worried as to what this might look like. Um Again, like the fact that Pokemon TCG is just a scaled down, like directly like mirrored version of the actual card game really helps it out. There's been several different versions of Digimon card games over the years. Some of them with far more balancing than others, and I just don't know if Digimon has enough of a dedicated fan base to dedicate to keeping a game like this alive for any significant period of time, right? Like Pokemon is Pokemon, and that's why it's doing its thing. Like there's a DC card game. I literally don't even fucking know what its name is because nobody talks about it, right? And then we have Marvel Snap, and again, it's kicking on because it's being carried by the Marvel IPs, right? I don't think Digimon can carry that weight. I hope this is cool and that it plays out. I'll
Mhm.
probably like pre-register on the app store when it's available just to give it a go. But I got bored of Pokemon TCG Pocket pretty quickly.
Yeah, I haven't played TCG Pocket in like probably like 2 months at least, and I just found out the other day that they have a whole new set that just came out recently, an Arceus set.
Yeah. Yeah, I got told about the new set too, and I was just like, I'm still not gonna open it. Like
Yeah, I'm not going to either, like
and like it is what it is, like like
Mhm.
different strokes for different folks is like as far as like what sort of like franchises and card games. Like I'm sorry, I like Marvel Snap more. That's just more my bag. And like that
And
has its own problems. Like I'm not saying it doesn't, but and like I want this to be successful. It's just like with my personal experience with Bandai Namco and Digimon and modern Digimon apps and their products, it's been subpar to say the least. And like their latest games have also been fairly subpar. So it leaves a lot to be desired. I want this to be successful. I fucking adore Digimon. Like I would tell you, like in like my heart of hearts, I like Digimon more than I like Pokemon. Like as a core concept, it's just like it's way easier. There's way easier ease of access with Pokemon stuff. So I think ultimately, this Digimon app has like a lot to stand up to and to compete against right now to be able to be successful in this market.
Mhm.
And it not releasing before Pokemon got to it might have been a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and, if this doesn't do well, whatever development team's working on it, do they even stay around?
Yeah, they're gonna get shut down
Mhm.
after this. Like, damn,
Mhm.
that seems to be the case
Uh,
these days. Like, you get like you're nobody's getting second chances right now.
no, no, nobody is, so
But I guess on the 19th at 11 p.m. Eastern time, you can check out if that's something that you might be interested in. I will probably wait until the 20th and watch it on YouTube. But I'm definitely I love Poke or Digimon enough to absolutely check this out and see if it's going to be worth its salt.
that's why I was kinda thinking we should talk about this because I thought this would be up your alley, and the thing is, we know Geo is gonna be over this. is going to be all over
Oh yeah,
this.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Our good friend Morbid Curiosity, Geo, is 100. He'll probably dabble with it at the very least. He loves Digimon, man.
Mhm.
He arguably he likes it more than me. I know
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll move into the next story. Call of Duty veteran creates new PlayStation studio. Dark Outlaw Games. This is coming from Eddie Makic over at GameSpot. Call of Duty veteran Jason
Brave.
Blundell's first major post-Activision project was the PlayStation partner Deviation Games, but it opened and closed without even announcing or releasing a game. Now Blundell is starting a new company with PlayStation. Blundell said in an interview with Jeff Gertzman that he's starting Dark Outlaw Games, which is a new studio inside of PlayStation Studios. Quote, we've been working away in the shadows for a while. When we've got something to talk about, we'll step out into the light, he said, as reported by VGC. Blundell said, it's such a privilege to be the newest first party PlayStation studio. Sony doesn't start up first party studios all the time, so to have that privilege is humbling, he said. As mentioned, this isn't Blundell's first go around with Sony. In 2021, Deviation Games signed a partnership with Sony to create a new IP that would be exclusive to PlayStation. Another Call of Duty veteran, Dave Anthony, founded Deviation with Blundell. However, Blundell left the company in 2022 with a round of layoffs following in 2023 before the company closed its doors for good in 2024 without its first game ever being announced. There is no
Hmm.
word yet on what Dark Outlaw is making for Sony. As for Blundell, he was instrumental in the creation of Call of Duty's massively popular Zombies mode during his time at Treyarch. He worked on a number of Call of Duty games over the years and directed 2015's Black Ops 3.
Interesting. It seems like clearly PlayStation is more invested than in this man as an individual
Mm-hmm.
than they are whatever studio he may be attached to. So much so that they went from a third party partnership to just giving the man a first party studio. That's wild, especially with how often PlayStation included. The motherfucker's been laying off. Like they've closed studios.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got the fucking nuts to open a new one?
What kind of game do you think this is going to be? With knowing what he's worked on, do you think that they're going
Dude,
into the shooter
as you were
space?
reading this, okay, so as you were reading this article, I'm not gonna lie, my gut was just like, whatever this man makes, I'm not gonna be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Like as you were reading, because of his pedigree, and then we get to the zombies part, and I was just like, that kind of changes things a little bit. But ultimately, there's no way he doesn't do a shooter for his first game, right? Like you don't break out of your wheelhouse on your debut title.
There's two Sony IPs that come to mind that may that people have been wanting to get reintroduced. And one especially recently had its own introduction as a small partnership in a Sony game recently. Killzone or Resistance. Those are two shooter IPs that have been dead in Sony lately. What if
Yeah, but would they really take Killzone away from Gorilla and give it to this new studio just for the sake of Gorilla being like, "Hey, we literally don't want you to do anything not Horizon."
so that could be a thing, but I think I'm leaning more towards what if we get Resistance back? Do you remember Resistance? Fall of Man?
I know exactly what the fucking case for the PlayStation 3 game looks like, but I've never played it.
So Resistance was actually one of my favorite series on the PS3. It's one of my favorite games that I played.
Mhm.
I actually own it. I own that game. I own Resistance 1 and 2. I have physical copies of those. Resistance, you're in World War II. You're fighting on the Allied side.
Hmm.
and then an alien invasion happens during World War II, and then it's the world versus the aliens. But you're still versus the Axis powers at the same time.
Interesting.
And there's and the alien design is cool. Like, um,
I do remember how like the tri-eye design that they had.
yeah, like,
Like I very distinctly remember the fucking the case
yeah,
because the
like
case was really cool.
if you look up resistance aliens, like if you look it up on Google Images, the like alien design is very similar to like Cloverfield.
Oh yeah, especially yeah the big ones for sure.
Yeah. So, especially knowing that he did zombies specifically for Call of Duty is like what he was known for. I could
Hmm.
see this being a possibility. I could see this IP getting resurrected if Sony chooses to do that. I mean, it could be a very brand new IP, but like I wouldn't be upset if this is the route they went, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I bet you if they do offer them like an IP that's currently not being accessed, like if they work out with another deal with
Mhm.
like I don't know who made Resistance. Like I know obviously like I know that Gorilla made Killzone,
Which I
and
would
like
love to see Killzone come back.
I'm sure that they could make I'm sure they could work out some sort of deal with Gorilla to like buy that particular IP from them. Um
Oh shit. It was Insomniac that made that.
really? See
But
and then
Insomniac's
but
not
when you
making those kind of games
and then when
anymore.
you think about it, I was just like, that's why both of those IPs are dead because neither of those fucking development studios are they're doing wildly different kinds of games now.
Yeah. So
Like
I don't
what
think those teams would even be interested in making those.
well, I mean, dude, last Killzone was a decade ago.
And when I'm looking, oh, much longer than that, I feel like. Much longer than that. Much long like probably 13 years ago. At least. Killzone games.
Killzone 3 came out in
2013.
2011.
2013.
What was after Killzone 3?
Killzone Shadowfall.
Remastered? Oh, Oh, yeah, I forgot about that game.
Yeah. That was the last one. So yeah, 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
I wasn't too far off. I wasn't too far off. Mm.
Neither is a decade.
Yeah, you know what? I was off by one. You were off by 3 or 2. So ha.
Splitting hairs, ass bitch. Anyways,
Hey, a win is still a win. But yeah, so Ernell, there's an argument to be made that those games don't exist anymore because people just didn't want them anymore at the time. It'd be interesting to see if those franchises would sell well now. I think they could make a comeback. I think there's room for it. I think there's room for it, personally. Because, like, if you're going to have a shooter veteran come in, I don't think there's room for a lot of new shooter IPs to enter the space, especially after what happened with Concord, you know?
yeah, but Concord was
And
a third person and it was a live service. Dude,
it wasn't it,
I
it
bet you
wasn't
they
third
don't
person. It was not third person.
oh, it wasn't?
It was a
I
first
literally
person.
didn't touch the
It
game,
was a
but
hero shooter.
uh
And then we had X Defiant 2 recently. That got shut down really fast too. I mean, that was
that was a
Ubisoft,
fucking
not Sony.
stupid concept game.
But
Like
like
fucking
I
again Ubisoft.
I don't see like when was the last time we heard somebody talk about oh god, what was that shooter we all played for a little bit? Um uh is it even still God, what was it? What was that shooter we were all playing for a little bit that you could move really fast? You even played it a little bit. It was like Xander.
Oh, the finals?
Yeah, the final. We don't even hear about that game anymore. We barely hear about Apex anymore. You
Oh,
know what I'm
dude,
s-
that's just because like that's because if you don't participate in like those sorts of live service games, like you like But I think that has more less to do with them being shooters and more to them being live service games. Like I think there's plenty of room for a good shooter like with the first and from a single player perspective. Like we've
And I
gotten a few
think
that have been like at least moderately successful in like the last 5 to 10 years.
and I think with Sony specifically, like I think those two IPs have the space for the single player story. You
I'll be
know,
shocked. I'll be absolutely shocked if that happens for their first game. I think they would get like they might be allowed to revive an IP like down the road, but I bet you they get like an original IP on their first
I
one.
would like to see original IP. It's just, dude, shooters just aren't as popular as they used to be. At least to me, because like I feel like the reason why they're not as popular and they don't get made as much anymore is because you have games like Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, and Call of Duty. They just dominate the shooter space. They just absolutely dominate the shooter space. Um, you know, I me personally, if there was a shooter to come out that would pique my interest to make me buy, Killzone, Resistance are two of them, and then a new Titanfall. Those would be the top 3 shooters on my list. If they came out, I would probably buy them instantly,
And
you know?
Titanfall ain't happening. That shit, there's no
I
shot.
know it's not because, yeah, Respawn's making Star Wars games now, which is totally okay with me. But,
Yeah, and like honestly, like Titanfall was a wild success. Like was a wildly successful fucking game. It
yeah.
was directly at one point competing with games like Battlefield and Call of Duty, like in its at its peak.
Dude, yeah, I bought Titanfall 2 the same time I bought Battlefield 1. They came out the same day. The
Yeah, dude,
same
I
day.
literally I remember having both games too. I remember fucking playing them that
Yeah,
shit
and
same
they
day.
were both
And
amazing. Both amazing
mhm,
games too. I can't
Titanfall 2 is
remember what Call of
still
Duty came out that week. What because it was a Black
wasn't
Ops
it
one.
Black Ops 3?
I think it was Black Ops 3. Yeah, I bought all 3 of those games that week, actually.
Yeah, dude.
I
And
th
like I'm not even like a huge shooter fan, but like Battlefield 1, I just like I find World War 1 and World War 2 just like just a fascinating
yeah,
time, just generally
yeah.
speaking. And like so like I always play those games. And like dude, Titanfall 2 was just an objectively fucking good mech game.
Objectively, it was amazing. It was amazing. I played that game so much. So much.
So fucking good.
I played the story on that. I played the PvP in that, like, all the time. I miss that game
Oh
a
yeah, dude.
lot.
I
I
actually
miss
played.
it a
Yeah,
lot.
that's like one of the few games I played PvP and really loved the hell out of it.
It
I
was
don't know. I think there's room for potential. Maybe they could. Maybe Sony can snatch up. Maybe they could talk to Respawn, even they have no fucking affiliation with
No,
them, and get
I don't want
Titanfall.
anybody but Respawn doing Titanfall.
Titanfall. That I respect the
The-
fuck out of that. It was
I
it
don't
was
want
Respawn
anybody.
and Dice, wasn't it?
No, Dice was not involved in it. Dice
No,
is
Dice was
always
Battle was
Battlefield. Always
yeah,
been
Dice's
Battlefield.
Battlefield. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I was confusing it with Star Wars Battlefront in my
Yeah,
head.
yeah. Dice did Battlefront. Yeah, they did do Battlefront as
Hmm.
well. But yeah, the only new shooter that's coming out anytime soon that I'm excited about, um, which I know you're excited about too, is oh my gosh, what Arc Raiders.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Arc Raiders.
Yeah, it looked really
That's
good.
normally not like my style of game, but like conceptually, I want to try it.
It looked good. It looked fun. And I like the idea of it is kind of an extraction shooter like Tarkov in a sense, but like you're roaming around in little like pods of people, like groups, and there's other
Hmm.
groups that are also doing the same stuff you are, while there's also like robots and mechs and stuff like around too. So I conceptually I like that. I like that. You know,
Hmm.
it'll be interesting to see how many times people fight each other or just work together to take
Is
down the
that what
mechs.
first? Is that one gonna be a first or a third
Third,
person?
third person, kind of like Division ish, or like Star
Oh,
Wars
okay.
Battle, because it's X
Yeah.
Division devs and X Battlefront devs that made this game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah, I am. I am legitimately excited for that game. And does Mecha Break count as a shooter?
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if you saw.
I I
I
haven't
threw that
played. I
shit.
haven't gotten to play any of the beta, but I am very excited for that game as well.
I played it. It was very fun. It was very, very fun. I since I've played the beta, I threw that shit on my fantasy critic
Oh
because
yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
it
Yeah, I
played
dude, I,
very
I dude,
well.
it looks wild. Like
It's
all the clips seem fucking crazy.
it plays very well. Like I had no issues. I had a lot. I think Ernell played it too. Like I had a lot of fun playing that game.
Fuck yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Fingers crossed. I would like to see Killzone or Resistance, because the only other shooter I can think about that they could bring back
New
is,
zombie IP, new shooter zombie IP.
do we need that?
Yeah,
Nah, we'll see.
yeah,
We'll
we
see.
do. Yeah, we
But do
do.
we? Do we?
Dude, have we really gotten a true Left
Back
4
for
Dead
Blood.
replacement?
Oh, dude, he's not going to make a Left 4 Dead replacement. The Left 4 Dead game devs tried to make a new Left 4 Dead game called Back for Blood,
Oh,
and
I
they
know.
still
I
couldn't
played the
do
fuck
it.
out of that game actually, but no,
Eh,
that game did not take off the way that they were hoping.
No, it did not. I did have my fun with that game though. It was very nostalgic feeling.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. We're gonna move into our final segment of the night. Or time, day, morning, whatever it is when you're watching or listening to this. We're gonna go into the end game. This is gonna be our headlining subject, and today I have an article from Windows Central. Actually, this is coming from Jez Corden, and guys, exclusive with Jez Corden. Xbox's new hardware plans begin with a gaming handheld set for later this year with full next gen consoles targeting 2027. And this is from Jez Corden. This guy is the guy that gets all the Xbox news. Like he gets it before everybody. Um so here is your first glimpse at Xbox's next gen hardware plans, and some parts are being executed more quickly than you might think. The Xbox Series XS generation has been a bit of an odd one. Microsoft's Xbox console hardware sell through has declined quarter over quarter for some time, but Xbox's addressable monthly active user base has been skyrocketing owing to the purchase of Activision Blizzard. Armed with mobile games like Diablo Immortal, Candy Crush Saga, and Hearthstone, atop core games like Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and Overwatch, Microsoft's future in gaming is all but guaranteed. Um, but what has been a little less clear is Xbox's future plans for hardware. Microsoft has been putting its exclusive console games like Forza Horizon 5 onto PlayStation to help grow the profitability of its business. In the near term, addressing users where they are is far more cost effective than what Microsoft would need to spend to acquire new Xbox console users potentially. However, the strategy has been questioned for long term um, damage it might do due to Xbox console hardware. Xbox appears keen to continue servicing its legacy Xbox audience with new hardware regardless. And over the past few months, it's been working to figure out exactly what that might look like. Here's what I've learned. First up, Microsoft is working with a PC gaming OEM. I think Asus, Lenovo, MSI, Razer, etc. on an Xbox branded gaming handheld, surprisingly slated for later in 2025 if plans are met. Codename Kennen. This gaming handheld will look unmistakably Xbox, we're told, complete with an official Xbox guide button, Xbox design sensibilities. Given that this is a partner device similar to Lenovo's Steam OS partnership with Valve, I expect this handheld to be more PC oriented. Canon is almost definitely running full Windows, putting the Microsoft Store and PC Game Pass front and center alongside the ability to install things like Steam. This device will likely serve, at least in part, as a research experience for Microsoft. I expect the handheld will test new Windows 11 device aware capabilities while reducing third party OEM bloatware that are typical of devices like Lenovo Legion Go or the Asus ROG Ally. I expect Microsoft will leverage widgets on the Xbox Game Bar on PC for controlling things like TDP and fan speed, while hopefully having a more streamlined OS experience for controller use. Of course, existing PC OEMs will benefit from these efforts as well, but the research will also help Microsoft further out plans. Because indeed, our sources also indicate that Microsoft's internal successor to the Xbox Series XS platform has been fully greenlit all the way up to CEO Satya Nadella. For now, I understand that Microsoft's next gen hardware plans include a premium successor to the powerful Xbox Series X alongside its own gaming handheld and several new controller options. Tentatively, these new console devices are slated for 2027. It seems that the next gen Xbox consoles will be closer to Windows than ever before, reducing the amount of work developers have to commit to when porting from PC. I understand that they will continue to support backwards compatibility with legacy Xbox games too. However, Xbox President Sarah Bond previously announced a project team specifically designed to promote backwards and forwards compatibility for existing Xbox games to that end. Xbox lead Phil Spencer has teased in previous interviews a desire to support third party storefronts on Xbox hardware too, including platforms like the Epic Game Store, GOG, itch.io, and even Steam itself. There's every reason to presume AI will have a role to play next gen, as well as Xbox Cloud capabilities. Microsoft's new controllers have direct to cloud connectivity, from what I've been told, and more um, intelligently allow players to switch between different devices. Of course, there are plenty of logistical issues to overcome in regard to all these plans. Always note that plans might change between now and 2027. Consider this a preview of what could come to pass as we wait for official reveals from Microsoft itself. Dude, so
I think the biggest thing for me out of all of this is like, wow, if this really does release in 2025, that's a huge deal. Huge deal, especially because there's the speculation immediately, right, that also the Switch 2 is coming out this year. Um, and my first and a most immediate thought is that if this is affordable and it doesn't require me to have an extra subscription to be able to access my Game Pass,
mhm.
and its specs are at very least better or are on par or better than what the current Steam Deck is capable, I will buy this over the Switch 2.
Yeah, if I have access to my Xbox library outside of just Game Pass, you know, and I can natively install these games on the handheld, like it
Mhm.
like they're
Like,
there, they're
not from
not.
cloud.
Yeah, like I can install natively. I'm all over this. I don't know if I'm gonna jump on board right away with the one that is slated for this year,
Right,
because
because we saw what happened with the Steam Deck, right? Steam Deck
yeah.
V1 is, like, not the sickest, and, like, the Switch V1, not the sickest. Like,
Mhm.
both having that version of the Switch, right? I think we can admit that,
Mm,
like, the OLED model that came out, like,
mhm.
several years down the road is far superior.
Yeah, because I've already decided I'm gonna buy a Switch 2 this year. That's personally what I've decided because I already have my Series X and I have a PC. Do I want something that isn't on the go handheld for like Xbox and PC game? I do. I do. But do I need it? No. But the Switch 2, that's the only place I can play Nintendo games that are
Nintendo.
coming,
Yeah, that is true.
you know?
Like, as far as I think that the big deciding factor for me is what Pokemon Legends Z to A looks like. If that looks
Yeah.
good, I will probably ultimately commit to the Switch too,
For
because I've
me,
heard that Z to A is going to have real time combat for the first time ever.
yeah. For me,
So
it's Metroid. It's Metroid that's gonna pull me in.
you think? Oh yeah, yeah, because we've been waiting on Metroid Prime 4 for fucking ever.
Yep, it's Metroid. That's what's gonna pull me in.
Oh, dude, do you think we would do you think we get is this just like a complete cross compatible device, or do we get titles exclusive to this?
To
Or is
the
this just
handheld?
gonna be yeah, or is this just gonna be like a Steam, or is this gonna be more in line with like you know the Asus ROG Ally or the Steam Deck, where it's just like it's a mini computer where you just access your library and play those games.
It's I think for me to jump on an Xbox handheld, I want it to be a dedicated Xbox handheld. As stupid as that sounds, like, I do like the idea of being able to use Steam and stuff on it, but I want to play my Xbox games, not PC games through Xbox, but I wanna play my Xbox games on the handheld.
No, no, well,
I
right,
will
right, right.
Yeah.
But do you think? I guess what I was asking was
Mhm.
is do you think like there will be right because like you know like the PlayStation had like the PSP. Like, do you think there will be dedicated games that are
No.
exclusive to the
No.
handheld? No,
No.
okay
No.
because because like
Because
that's a pretty niche corner of the market. The only handheld right now that has exclusive titles is
it's
the
the Switch,
Switch.
but it's also a entertainment console that you can dock in your living room to a TV though too,
That's true.
which
Yeah, it does. There's no
which
mention of that whatsoever in this
yeah,
article.
but I think for it to be successful because every other handheld device that's come out, the Steam Deck, the ROG, all that, they all have docks that you can get for them and hook it up to a screen. They all have Bluetooth support that you can connect
Hmm.
controllers and keyboards and mice to. Every single one does. So I think they have to, to compete in that market, they have to do all of that as well. And I think that's what they have to do
Yeah,
personally.
I think it's definitely I think they're kind of forced market
Mhm.
trend wise to go more like the Steam Deck, right? Where like
Yeah.
it just gives you proprietary access to your entire Xbox library, whether it's your, you know, your Xbox One games or
Mhm.
like, you know, your Series XS games. I think it would be interesting if they did in the future add like
Mhm.
the capability to dock it, right? Because then like people who don't necessarily want to get like a Series X
Mhm.
uh or a Series S, and something tells me that despite this being a handheld though, that this will probably be priced similarly to or maybe even more expensive than the Series S.
I think it'll be more expensive than Series
I
S.
think it'll be in
I
between.
I think it has to be as powerful as a Series S at least to break into the market. And and
Yes,
that,
absolutely.
and so I think the biggest hurdle technology wise that they're going to have to pass is going to be battery life. For it to be that powerful,
Yeah,
because
honest to God, man.
because if
Battery
I
life is a kicker in the handheld market.
if I remember right, because the Series S is a good console. It is. It's just some people I think were forced to or made deals to not optimize their games well for the Series S. That's just my take. That's just my take.
Yeah, I'm
Tinfoil.
with you. I'm a little tinfoily hat because like
I
we've seen what how optimized the game can look on
Yeah.
Series S. I'm sorry, like y'all, some of y'all's excuses is poor.
Yeah, if
That's all I'm
if
gonna
you can
say.
play Indiana Jones on that shit, dude, like come
Fucking
on.
60K FPS settings. They're like man, we're not even gonna give you a quality mode because it just runs and looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, and like so that's my tinfoil hat because I've seen some games run very well on the Series S.
Yeah. But I
Um
think you're 100% correct. Like it being a bare minimum as powerful as the Series S. Okay, battery life is gonna be key. But like, dude, let's talk about screen size
let's see what the
and
Switch.
screen type.
Yeah, I think it has to be an OLED. I think it has to be an
Yeah,
OLED.
for 100%.
Screen size, I think it has to be comparable to everything else that's out there. which I think the average screen size right now is like
8 inches, right? Eight
yeah,
and a half.
yeah, around there. So it has to be at least 8 inches. That's what she said. Um,
Dude, yeah, because do we know how big the screen for the Switch 2 is going to be? I think I think
we're gonna
even
find
though
out. We're gonna find out very soon.
that's true, very soon, because I think even though market wise, like as far as what it will offer, it's going to be competing with stuff like Steam Deck and the
Hmm.
ROG Ally. I think on the surface, the average consumer is going to be comparing this to something like a Switch
Oh,
as when they make
100%.
their purchase, right?
Yeah.
Because I would say your average like family console buyer that's like buying stuff for like, their household, their kids, their family, their husband, their significant others, right? Like those folks aren't going to be looking at probably Steam Deck or like those other handhelds unless like they're specifically directed towards them, where like
Hmm.
this is going to be like face value being compared directly to the Switch. Just like the Portal did. Even, the Portal is like just its own ass fucking thing.
Yeah, I to this day don't like the idea of the portal. That's just me. I don't like that it's
They are getting closer to it being just a true cloud device now, though. With like the updates that they have, they're still not there. I still have issues with mine. I like the device, not perfect. But like as far as like what it's going to be compared to in the market, obviously the Switch is like definitely going to be competing with that.
mhm,
No, I don't really think they have. I don't think they're going to have any issue competing with the PlayStation Portal. I think they're going to blow that away immediately,
yeah.
um, because
Well,
like the Portal's just a glorified peripheral.
yeah, I think Sony is working on a uh a
I
handheld
like
too.
they're coming back to the handheld market.
I
They stepped out of the game. I think somebody would have to really cook something up, man, because like the PS Vita was shit, but the PSP was so fucking rad,
I
and they were
loved my
so
PSP.
similar.
I loved
They were
my
so
PSP.
similar, yet one was so much fucking worse.
I loved my PSP when I have that. That was such a good handheld console. It
It was
really
a
was.
great handheld console, dude. That was what introduced me to Monster Hunter was my
I
PSP.
had I had two. I had the OG one and I had the slim one. And I don't know what happened to those, man. I kind of miss those things. I have no idea what happened to those consoles. I don't remember selling them or anything. That they're just gone. Pretty sure they got stolen.
Dude, yeah, fucking fair. They probably just got fucking yeah. You probably somebody borrowed them and never
Yeah.
returned that shit.
Yeah.
Dude, do you really think this shit's gonna come out in 2025 though?
If it's partnered with like another, computing company like Asus or something like that,
Oh, somebody
then
that can
yeah.
help with the manufacturing.
Yeah, because that's what the rumor is circulating is that Asus is partnered with them to manufacture this device. Um
Interesting, because you don't feel like that's like a conflict of interest, like that somebody that they're competing with? I guess because like Asus is their own ass brand, but the fucking Asus probably uses Microsoft processors, or they
exact
use they
they use
probably use
Windows
like other parts
11.
for
They
them.
use
Yeah,
Windows 11.
that's what I was trying to say,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
processors, because they use Intel processors.
Yeah.
But
I
um,
think they use AMD. I think they use AMD actually
oh
because
really?
yeah, because
I didn't.
that
I okay.
yeah, most consoles, most not all, use AMD chipsets that are like a CPU and GPU like combination. Like
Yeah, but isn't
all
Asus like a PC company first?
yeah, but it's also a handheld, so it's still going to be
Do you
running
think that
on
you still think like they used an AMD? I am just gonna like I
yeah
100% like you're
yeah.
probably right, but I am just gonna
Let's look it
I'm
up.
gonna
Let's
fact
look it
check
up.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, like I'm
Asus
yeah. What's the ROG
ROG
Allies chip
Ally uh chip set.
processor? Yep,
Uh
AMD Ryzen Z1 and Z1
called it.
Extreme
Called it. So
runs
yeah.
on Windows 11.
Yep. So because AMD has been like kind of ruling the the processing space for
Yeah, Intel's definitely more home computing these days.
yeah. Um but I do know that the Switch 2 is actually using a Nvidia chipset for their console, which could be really interesting cuz in my experience DLSS is a lot
Interesting.
smoother and prettier to the eyes than FSR is.
Yeah, that's like yeah, and like those are forms of upscaling, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. So which could really work for the Switch 2, because if that Switch 2 has
Interesting.
DLSS in it to like upscale the games just like natively, like that's just an like a way to make the console
Man,
run better.
especially if it got regular driver updates and shit.
Yeah. I think that would be really cool. It so um I really want to see what this turns into. I do think it's interesting because
Yeah, I'm interested.
if these come out, they're going to be coming out holiday, right? That's
Right. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a no-brainer. Like that's the
Yeah.
market. Like
But
cuz summertime is not when some people, I'm sorry, even nerds go outside in the summer. Like game sales dip in the summer. They just do.
yeah, I don't see this getting revealed till Summer Games Fest, like around that time, like June-ish, you know?
Yeah,
It
I think it'd probably be around
yeah.
then. It'd either be that or like they would do like their own special presentation, but even
Yeah.
fucking Starfield got showed at Summer Game Fest, right?
Well, I mean, they have their own presentation in June at summer, like during Summer's Games Fest, but it's not a Summer Games Fest event. It's a Microsoft event. They do that every year, you know. They've been doing it since E3. They have their own day that they do stuff, you know.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
forget the week. They have like their own presentation later in the weekend.
yeah, well, they usually do it
I
like
feel
on
like that would be an
Sundays.
opening. I feel like you don't you I feel like that'd be an opening night.
We'll see.
Dang, you
We'll
really
see.
think they'd save that until as a weekend? I don't know. There's lots to unpack here.
Yeah, there is. And I feel like they're going to be holiday if this does come out, which makes me believe that the Switch 2 is releasing this summer at the beginning of summer, since we're getting the full direct. I think it's April 2nd. April 2nd.
Yeah, dude, watch that bad boy have like a fucking like a June release.
Dude, I would not be surprised. June, I'm like I'm saying it right now, mid June to early July, the Switch 2 comes out. I'm saying it right now. If not then, September.
September. Yeah, into
Yep.
going into fall.
And if the Xbox handheld comes out, November, 2 weeks before Black
The
Friday.
first Switch came out in like fucking March, didn't it?
Yep. Yep. It came out like the second
Damn.
week of March.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I think if they're ever were gonna do a handheld now is the time for Xbox to do a handheld though.
I've
Like
been saying for years that I want one.
they have I think they're perfectly poised to enter that portion of the gaming market right now,
Mhm.
given just like the wide variety of options currently available in gaming. I would love for it to be able to run those third party stuff, but like my
Mhm.
first and like number one priority is like I want access to my actual library
Mhm.
of my Xbox games, and I want access to my all of my Game Pass stuff.
Yeah. And this you mentioned this like a while ago. If I think that they would just make games for the handheld. Um Obviously I said no, they wouldn't do that. And it's because of their motto of Xbox Play Anywhere. That's like their
Yeah,
slogan.
that's true. I did forget that that's like their new initiative,
It's been
and that
that way
like
since
that
the
any
Xbox One. It's been that way since Xbox One. That's been their
yeah, but like
thing.
I feel like recently they very much doubled down on the anything is an Xbox.
Yeah, 100% they have. But you know what's crazy? If I go into the Microsoft store, I can go to gaming or where my library, go to my library. I bet you I own games on here that I didn't even think that I owned on PC just because I bought them on Xbox, you know. So, I own Doom Eternal on PC. Did not know that. Did not know that. I own that. Um, I own Destiny. All the all the all the Destiny 2 stuff is Play Anywhere apparently. Um, Fallout 76, Call of Duty. Oh, apparently Cyberpunk.
Ugh,
Did not know that actually.
that's wild, dude.
Um, Lies of P, Diablo 4, um, Outer Worlds, The Dark Pictures anthology, The Devil in Me. Did not know that I owned that. Modern Warfare 2. Resident Evil 4. Elden Ring. I can download Elden Ring.
Dude, what the fuck?
I did not know
That's
that.
crazy, dude.
I did not know I own that on PC. Let's see. I'm gonna download that right now. I'm downloading. I did not know I had Elden Ring on PC, but here we are.
Huh.
Actually, I've been waiting to like get it on Dying Light 2. What else? Here, let's see what else we got.
Dude, wow, I have so much shit that I can just download onto my PC from my right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, not everything. Not everything.
Not everything, but a lot.
Yeah, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Battlefield 2042. I knew that already though. Marvel's
wild, dude.
Avengers. Not that game matters anymore.
Holy shit. Yeah, that fucking game, like barely even that game literally ain't even kicking you. It's like it's delisted. You can't even buy that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I hope it's honestly. I just hope it's a success. Like I know that like the console wars are pretty much coming to an end. Thank God for that. Like gamers just should be able to game, and everybody needs to shut their fucking face holes about it. But I think an Xbox handheld is a fucking fantastic idea. I don't know why I never thought this would be something they would ever do. I just kind of assumed that they wouldn't branch this way. But I'm happy that they are going to do so now. I think I'm eagerly looking forward to the unveiling and what event that may occur at.
Yeah. I am too. It's I think it's going to be a good time. I think we are in the golden era of gaming again, or dare I say the platinum era of gaming, because I feel like the golden era of gaming was that 2007 to 2011 time frame, you know.
There are some
I
good games, yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of nostalgic like memories of that time personally, but I do think we're in an era of gaming right now that has been the best for gamers specifically, not so much the developers, you know, as a
Yeah,
gaming consumer, because we have so
yeah.
many
On
options
the
and so many
consumer side,
ways
it's
to
been a little
play.
better.
And I feel like the reason why these handhelds are being made now is because Microsoft as a company recognizes that people want convenience and being able to play anywhere,
Absolutely.
you know. So, with that being said, we will definitely be keeping a close eye on this as it happens. Be
Oh
prepared
yeah.
for reactions to this if it happens, because Garrick and I are huge tech nerds and we'll be all over this when it happens. We're going to
Yeah,
talk about
just overly excited.
Oh,
Overly excited.
100%. 100%. I know that when I was bringing this up to you like earlier, like last weekend, you were like, "Really? This is happening? What?" You know?
Well,
So,
because like we've been talking, like we've been fucking tossing the rumor around. You and I have been
yeah.
fucking like tossing this rumor around back and forth for like the last 9 months about this fucking Xbox handheld, and I'm just happy that it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too. I think I do remember Sarah Bond just saying, "Yes, it's happening." I think she said that like months ago. And
I
but
think
that's it.
it was like they glossed over it, and that was
Yeah.
all.
Like she said it during a presentation too. She said, "Yep, we're working on a
Yep.
handheld."
That's what it
Mhm.
was. I do
Yep.
remember that.
That's it. They didn't reveal anything. That's all she said. But regardless of that, we're going to talk about our content schedule for the rest of the week. Friday on the next episode of 20,000 Films, Death of a Unicorn, spoiler-free review is happening. I'm actually going to be on that episode, so
It's gonna
let's
be a
have some
weird
fun.
one.
I'm actually excited for this movie. Like I'm
I think it's gonna be
excited.
a good one.
Yeah, me too. Me
I
too.
hope it's a good one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Uh, and then Saturday, we'll be doing another Songs from the Abyss. That'll be out for all you subscribers that Saturday afternoon. Um, it'll be out to the public March 24th, Monday. So get ready for that. Guys, let us know what you think about an Xbox handheld coming to you And what with that rumor floating around about the new Xbox consoles with the possibility of having Epic and Steam and GOG integration, which I think is wild because I have games across all of those launchers. Because Epic just keeps giving me
Same.
free games, and I realize I
Yep.
have over 30 games on Epic, and I've maybe bought like 5 on there.
Oh, dude, I literally just open Epic just to see what the free games are sometimes. I don't even
Yeah.
play games on my PC, but I just want them.
They're giving away like a Jurassic Park game like next week.
Oh, the Durant like the park simulator ones?
Yeah, they're giving away the newest one next week for free. So I'm just
It's actually it's a good game.
yeah, I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab it. Guys, this has been Good Kraken's Death Ratio, your choice for all the nerdy video game news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear live each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. West Coast, Best Coast time. If you liked what you heard, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcast and video services wherever you like to watch or listen. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Death Ratio and leaving a review there. We have to go, but until next time, I got a guy for
Bye, have a beautiful time.
that.